Hello everyone and welcome to Eco News, where we bring you the latest updates on the planet's most pressing environmental issues. I'm Lila.
And I'm Cece.
And today we're diving deep into how deforestation and logging negatively impact water quality and availability within watersheds, and then exploring potential solutions.
Our focus today is on Arch Cape in Oregon, as well as Big Sur and Los Angeles in California. These beautiful areas are facing significant challenges due to deforestation and logging. But why should we care? Let's find out.
Logging removes large trees that provide shelter and thermal cover for aquatic life. Without these trees, water temperatures rise, pH levels increase, and the ecological balance of our water systems is disrupted. This degradation leads to worsening and poorer water quality and availability, which then goes on to affect both the environmental and local communities.
The environmental impacts are severe. We see degradation of aquatic ecosystems, loss of biodiversity, and increased erosion and sedimentation in water bodies. Economically, the cost of water treatment and filtration skyrockets, and local businesses reliant on clean water suffer. Human health is also at risk, with contaminated water leading to various health issues.
What's causing this? The answer is very clear: logging and deforestation. Trees play a critical role in filtering water and regulating its supply. So when these trees are removed from a forest, erosion, flooding, and landslides become way more likely to occur. This then poses as a negative impact to water quality.
People specifically at risk are those inside of the Arch Cape and Big Sur watersheds, as that is their main source of water. Unlike in Los Angeles, we have many different ways to obtain water. Certain low-income households in these areas that are unable to obtain water from different sources rely on their spring for water. In Arch Cape, specifically indigenous communities in the watershed that have cultural ties to the spring are negatively impacted. The community of Arch Cape specifically has tried to implement stricter regulations on logging and practices near the watershed to keep water quality from decreasing. They have also increased community awareness about the impact that logging has on water quality through sending out emails and holding informational meetings. But this is not enough to fully solve the problem.
We'll talk about potential solutions a little later, but first we want to talk about how we found out about this problem. Us specifically even goes to this house every summer, so we really do care about the water quality and availability. Also, through a further research, we found out that it was happening in areas like Big Sur, the Santa Cruz Mountains, and even Los Angeles. So this problem is a greatly impacted one.
But there is hope. Environmental solutions like reforestation can restore filtration systems, while sustainable logging practices can minimize impacts on water quality. Economically, investing in advanced water treatment infrastructure and purchasing forest areas for conservation can make a difference. Community-led conservation projects and educational programs are also vital for this cause.
According to an expert from Arch Cape Conservation Project, implementing stricter regulations on logging practices and increasing community awareness can significantly reduce the negative impacts on our watersheds. As with the increasing community awareness, they actually know what's going on, and they will care about the issue as they know it's affecting them. Because according to our fellow news anchor from Arch Cape, she did not know this issue was going on until she was involved in a meeting of it. Also, specifically, the community leader of Arch Cape states that the community in Arch Cape values and protects its natural resources. So education and sustainable practices are key to preserving the water quality. But this issue isn't just local, it occurs worldwide, specifically in Southeast Asia. But deforestation and logging lead to water quality and availability decreasing on a lesser scale. Both faced issues of water contamination, reduced water availability, and increased issues of erosion and landslide. But in Asia, it's mostly from the rivers and not springs, as they clog with silt and agricultural pollutants, and that's what leads to the water quality and availability dropping. But it still does occur from logging and deforestation. And as I mentioned before, the scale and intensity of this problem in Asia is less intense since the conditions are different and rivers and springs are not Asia's watersheds, like Southeast Asia's watersheds only water source.
The economic impacts of these issues are similar as they both have loss of ecosystem services. Since forests provide valuable ecosystem services such as water filtration, flood control, and soil stabilization. In Arch Cape, agriculture is not that major of an economic activity, but in Southeast Asia, deforestation can lead to soil degradation and reduced water availability, which impacts the crop yields and can lead to economic instability for farming communities.
In Arch Cape, there has been an increase in people getting waterborne diseases, and overall community health has worsened as they are drinking from a contaminated water source, and this makes them more likely to get a waterborne disease or something even worse. Reduced water availability can also lead to hygiene and sanitation issues, which further worsens health problems. Now, this has been occurring in Asia too, but they haven't reached this level where 75% of their community is affected by poor water quality like it is in Arch Cape. In Southeast Asia, the methods they've tried haven't been very effective. Similar to Arch Cape, they implemented community awareness to stop logging and tried to take away agricultural pollutants. But as I've said before, they haven't been successful, as this is just too large of a problem to just let the community know, hey, this isn't good, stop logging, as it just does not work out like that. But there is hope for a place like this.
Costa Rica once faced significant deforestation like these places, yet has now become a global leader in reforestation and sustainable forest management. The country recognized the critical role of forests in maintaining biodiversity, regulating water supplies, and protecting against natural disasters. By enhancing watershed health, these efforts led to better water regulation and long-term economic benefits from improved ecosystem services.
Step that Costa Rica took to reach their goal was the establishment of the Payment for Environmental Service program. In this program, landowners receive financial incentives to preserve and restore forests on their property. The goal of this is to promote conservation and sustainable land practices by compensating landowners for the ecosystem services that are provided by the forest. Then, this leads to increased water filtration, carbon sequestration, habitat protection, and water availability and quality.
In Arch Cape, Big Sur, and Los Angeles, we can learn from these global efforts and apply similar strategies. Our call to action is clear. Advocate for sustainable logging practices, support reforestation efforts, and increase community awareness to protect our water quality.
We hope you enjoyed that APES segment. And know, together we can make a difference. Thank you for watching Eco News. Stay tuned for more updates on how we can protect our planet, one step at a time.
About 30% of the planet, and the ecosystems they create play an essential role in supporting life on Earth. But deforestation is clearing Earth's forests on a massive scale, and at the current rate of destruction, the world's rainforests could completely disappear within 100 years. Why should we care about deforestation? Together, forestry and agriculture are responsible for 24% of greenhouse gas emissions, making deforestation a significant contributor to climate change. Deforestation impacts the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere in two ways. First, when trees are felled, they release the carbon they are storing into the atmosphere. Second, trees play a critical role in absorbing the greenhouse gases that fuel global warming. Fewer forests mean larger amounts of greenhouse gases entering the atmosphere, and increased speed and severity of global warming. In addition to helping regulate the Earth's climate, forests provide habitats for over 80% of the plants and animals that live on land. But deforestation destroys these habitats, diminishing biodiversity. Some estimate that 4,000 to 6,000 rainforest species go extinct each year. This also affects the more than 2 billion people who rely on forests as sources of food and shelter. The biggest driver of deforestation is agriculture. Farmers chop down trees in order to plant crops like soybeans, palm trees, and cocoa, or to make room to raise livestock for beef. Logging operations, which provide the world's wood and paper products, also cut countless trees each year. Forests are also destroyed as a result of growing urban sprawl as land is developed for dwellings. The effects of deforestation are grave, but not irreversible. Efforts such as managing forest resources, eliminating clear-cutting, and planting new trees to replace those removed are already being made to reduce deforestation's environmental impact on our planet. And while some plant and animal species are gone forever, combating deforestation can help prevent further loss of biodiversity.